At the airport, I was told my ticket was canceled. My family boarded without even looking back. Music that night, my sister texted, "You should be used to being left out by now." I just replied, "Don't worry. Your new year will be unforgettable." When they came back, their phones lit up with alerts. Then their lives started crumbling. I still remember standing there, holding my daughter's hand, as the flight attendants scanned boarding passes. The line moved quickly. Everyone was in high spirits, bundled in layers, clutching Starbucks cups, snapping selfies with neck pillows. I spotted my parents up front, my sister posing for photos with her husband, my brother cracking jokes like he always did when excited. My daughter waved at them excitedly. No one waved back. This trip had been planned for 2 months. Group chats buzzing, booking links shared, screenshots of the cozy cabin, heated floors, huge fireplace, private hot tub on the deck. Snow predicted for New Year's Eve. I was the third to send my share, $1,300, split evenly like everyone else. It was supposed to be a real escape, a week away from everything. The airport was chaotic, people rushing, kids crying, suitcases rattling behind hurried parents. I felt oddly anxious but blamed it on traveling with a child. I double-checked our bags, coats, purse. Everything seemed perfect until it was. The moment the gate agent scanned my ticket, something felt wrong. She tried once, then again. Her face stayed neutral, but her eyes flicked to another screen. Then she asked for my ID. When she stepped aside and called a colleague over, I knew. I asked what the problem was. She said quietly, as if I should already know, "Your reservation has been canceled." I asked her to check again. Same result. I insisted it couldn't be right. I'd paid, my whole family was on this flight. She asked if someone else had booked it for me. I said yes. My sister had handled the group reservation. That's when the second agent gave me a look I'll never forget. Not rude, not pitying, just like she understood something I hadn't yet grasped. I stepped aside. My daughter asked if we were boarding. "Just a minute," I said. I pulled out my phone and texted my sister, brother, mom. No replies. Then I looked up and watched them board. My parents, sister, brother, even my cousin, who never chipped in for groceries at Thanksgiving, strolling down the jet bridge happily. Not one turned around. My daughter tugged my sleeve. "Are we still going on vacation?" I said no. The Uber ride home was silent except for her asking once if I was mad. I said no, but I was. Mad doesn't even cover it. First numbness, then ice-cold rage, then something sharper. At home, I sat on the bed's edge and scrolled the group chat. 4 days earlier, my sister had written, "I'll handle the final confirmations." No one questioned it. Why would they? She always did. This time, she'd handled me right out of the plan. Around 10 p.m., after ignoring me for hours, she finally replied, "You should be used to being left out by now." No warning, no explanation, just that. I stared at it for 10 seconds, then typed, "Don't worry, your new year will be unforgettable." Then I got to work. They'd forgotten who they were dealing with. They'd forgotten how much of the family's financial world quietly ran through me. Bills, subscriptions, auto-pays, savings. I'd been their silent safety net for years, never complaining. But that night, I logged into every shared account, changed every password, and pulled every dollar tied to my name. By morning, I was no longer part of the family. I was something else entirely. And that was only the start. They landed the next morning. My sister posted a fake candid video. Snow drifting slowly past the cabin window, her coffee cup in frame, soft music playing. Caption, "Finally breathing again." Minutes later, my brother uploaded a clip of the living room, wood beams, fire crackling, laughter off-screen, probably my cousin. Mom was already in the fuzzy robe she'd mentioned obsessively in the chat. They looked cozy, carefree, like nothing had happened. I watched it all from my apartment while my daughter ate cereal and asked if we could go sledding later. I smiled and said yes, not because I was okay, but because I had a plan. They thought abandoning me was something I'd just get over. They forgot I was the one who handled things. That first day, I held back. I let them settle in, post their perfect videos, pretend they were living a dream. I gave them 24 hours of peace. Then I began. First, I removed my debit card from my parents' utility auto-pay. The bills wouldn't bounce yet, but the chain had started. Next, streaming services, Netflix, Hulu, Spotify family plans, canceled completely. The accounts were tied to my email and payments. They'd discover it mid-movie that night, screen frozen, room suddenly quiet. By noon, my phone buzzed, missed call from my cousin. I ignored it. He texted, "Did you change the password to the expense doc?" I didn't reply. My sister sent one word, "Seriously." Day 2, chaos. Mom left a light-voiced voicemail about some reservation issues and asked if I'd updated anything. She still didn't understand. That night, they tried a fancy steakhouse. Dad's card declined, twice. The joint account we shared for big purchases, drained. Their backup PayPal, which I'd set up years ago, also empty. Then the cabin host emailed my sister. The second half of the rental fee hadn't cleared. They'd used my card for the deposit, assuming I'd be there. Now my name was off the reservation. Payment failed. My sister had to cover it with her own card. I know her limit wasn't that high. She posted nothing that night. In fact, she deleted earlier posts. Day 3. My brother left early. Mom claimed in the chat it was work. I knew better. The savings account I'd helped him use for truck repairs, half mine, was now closed. Day 4. Banks started sending alerts to me because my name was still attached. Mortgage autopay deactivated. Shared emergency fund gone. Every alert carried my name. Texts flooded in, not just from mom or sister but cousin, even an aunt who wasn't on the trip. Mom messaged directly, "What's happening?" I stared, then closed the app. They'd leaned on me quietly for years. I was never the favorite, never the loud one, never the one they posted birthday tributes about. But I was always the net. They cut me out of a plane I helped pay for. Now they could learn what falling felt like without one. And the week wasn't even over. By day 6, my phone was a hotline. Missed calls, voicemails, texts from relatives who only reached out for emergencies. I hadn't spoken to any of them since the airport. Suddenly, I was the most popular family member. They were snowed in, roads closed. My cousin posted a raw clip of the buried driveway. Cabin fever is real. No music, no filters. Mom called again, then dad, brother, sister twice. She followed with, "Can we please just talk?" No one said sorry. At noon, cousin sent a long text. Cabin host threatening to cancel the last nights unless balance cleared. Sister's card failed again. Dad's frozen. They were embarrassed, stuck. Around 1 p.m., the group chat exploded. "Mom, can anyone access the emergency account?" "Mortgage bounced, sister. I can't even log in. It says the account no longer exists." "Brother, what happened to the savings?" I just watched them unravel in real time. The financial system they'd built their lives around, the one I quietly maintained, was gone. Not sabotaged, simply removed the way they'd removed me. That afternoon, Dad showed up unannounced. I didn't open the door. I stood behind it while my daughter played quietly inside. He knocked twice, then left. Through the peephole, I saw him walk away, coatless, expression blank. He didn't come with answers. He came because they were cornered. Sister sent a wall of text. They were overwhelmed. Things escalated too fast. No one meant to hurt me. I was taking it too far. This isn't how family behaves. Think of your daughter. No mention of the airport. No explanation. Nothing about watching me stand there with my child while they boarded without looking back. I didn't reply. That night, the cabin host left an awkward voicemail asking if I could reactivate payment or transfer the booking. Storm had worsened things. System flagged potential fraud. When I heard fraud, I laughed, not because it was funny, but because the irony was suffocating. At dinner, my daughter asked why everyone was calling. I told her, sometimes people don't value you until they lose you, then they panic. She nodded like she understood. That night, I finally replied to Mom's last message, "Are you doing this on purpose?" "Yes, and I'm not even close to finished." I muted the chat, set my phone face down, and let them sit with it. They had 1 day left. I was just getting started. On their final full day, silence from their end was deafening. The trip that had been a lifestyle broadcast, every snowflake, dinner plate, log on the fire went completely dark. No posts, no stories. Around 9 a.m., an email from the property manager. 4 failed charge attempts. Full payment by 6 p.m. or they'd contact the sheriff for intentional non-payment. I forwarded the entire message, headers, timestamps, legal threat, straight to the family chat. No caption, just consequences. Minutes later, calls poured in: mom, dad, sister 5 times, brother, aunt. I answered none. Then a blocked number I picked up. County Sheriff's Office, professional, following up on a civil complaint. My name was on the original reservation. Could I confirm my association? I told the truth. Removed without knowledge, never boarded, never stayed, no refund. Long pause. Understood. Thank you, ma'am. 10 minutes later, sister, did you actually report us? I didn't answer. They were reporting themselves. At 1:30 p.m., while helping my daughter with snow boots for the park, a quiet knock. Through the peephole, my brother. Sleepless, hair messy, jacket half-zipped. No suitcase. Just him holding something. I opened the door. My daughter was watching. We sat at the crayon-covered kitchen table. He claimed he didn't know about the cancellation, thought I'd backed out. I reminded him I stood at the gate, my daughter waving while he looked away. He didn't argue. He slid a check across, $1,300 my share. Just take it. Mom's freaking out. They're talking lawyer. Everyone thinks you'll get them arrested. I didn't touch it. I told him this wasn't about money anymore. It was about every Christmas I was the backup plan, every 2 a.m. Call to fix their forgotten bills, every time they used me then walked away like I didn't exist. This was me stepping off the stage, not dramatically but finally. He nodded, left quietly. That night, sister's final message: you've always been bitter. You finally snapped. Then, you're not acting like a real daughter. I screenshotted both not for proof, but to remember who they were when it all collapsed. The next morning, local news ran the story. Luxury cabin guests under investigation for unpaid rental fees during holiday storm. Blurry street photo. Mom in her robe, dad in flannel. Sister arms crossed, cousin behind. They trended locally by lunch. Someone tagged sister on Facebook. I didn't laugh. I just poured coffee and watched quietly. For the first time in years, they were the ones explaining themselves. I didn't have to say a word. The story didn't go viral, but it hit their world, town, church, Facebook circle. Mom's page wiped, sister's stories gone, cousin's Instagram locked. Group chat abandoned. 3 days of silence, no calls, no accusations. No one asking me to fix anything. Then Friday, my daughter found an envelope at the door, no knock, no name. Inside, the same uncashed check and a typed letter. Stiff, formal, they'd reviewed contributions, decided I wasn't entitled to a refund since I didn't go. Called it a family misunderstanding. Time to let it rest and move forward. Like deliberately leaving my child and me at the airport was a misunderstanding. I didn't get angry. I flipped the page, wrote one sentence. Next time you want peace, don't start a war you expect someone else to clean up. Sealed it, no return address. Dropped it in their mailbox on my way to the store. No drama, just facts. The weekend was strangely calm. No outreach. Group chat dead. They finally realized the damage wasn't just financial, it was deeper. The moment they showed me my place in their world, I believed them. But what truly changed everything happened Sunday. We were walking back from the park, my daughter holding my hand, dragging her boots through the snow, and for the first time I felt free.